Hey guys, this is one skill, interpret two-way tables that can be kind of tricky. It's really a great skill though for separating the difference between kind of percentage and kind of absolute number. So we're given this two-way table of relative frequencies that shows data on nationality and eye color. Okay, and we're asked, based on the following data, which of the following statements must be true. So each of these statements can kind of fall into, one of three categories. One, it can be true. One, it can be false, and the other is that the data doesn't really answer the question. Doesn't really tell us whether the statement is true or not. Okay, it could be either way. So, statement A, you just go. We're trying to find a true statement, and we just go statement by statement. There are the same number of English people and Italian people with other eye colors. So we go to other column for eye color and we look at the English people, that's 2%. And we look at the Italian and that's 2%. Okay. Now, the statement isn't true. And it's trying to catch you to making that mistake between imagining that percent is the same thing as actual number, right? So, um, depending on the size of England and Italy, right, 2% could be a very different number of people. Let's say England is a bigger country than Italy. I'm actually not sure if that's true or not, but let's say it is. 2% of England is a lot more people than 2% of Italy. Okay. So that's something that we don't know whether it's true or not. Okay. It could be if they're the exact same size, which is unlikely. Um, there could be the same number of English people and Italian people with other eye colors, but if they're different sizes, um, then that's not true. Okay. B. Italians are more likely to have brown or hazel eyes than German. So we look up. It looks like Italians are 80%. An Italian is 80% likely to have brown or hazel eyes, and Germans are only 47% likely. So if you have an Italian, it's much more likely that they'll have brown or hazel eyes than if you have a German. So this one's definitely true. Since there's only one answer, we could just fill in B and answer here. But it's also kind of instructional to look at the other ones and see where they might be not good choices, that they aren't necessarily true. So a German person is more likely to have brown or hazel eyes than to have blue or green eyes. So German is 47% likely to have brown or hazel eyes, and 52% of the time they'll have blue or green eyes. So this one's just outright false, right? They're actually more likely to have blue or green eyes than to have brown or hazel eyes. So that's completely false. Whereas first statement is we don't really know. Second statement is definitely true. This is definitely false. Okay. And D, a person with brown or hazel eyes is least likely to be German. So if you have a person with brown or hazel eyes, they're least likely to be German. And again, it's this one would catch you on mistaking percentages or relative frequencies for absolute numbers. So only 47% of the German people have brown or hazel eyes, which is a lower percentage than either English or Italian. But again, if Germany is a far larger country than England and Italy, 47% could actually be more than even the 80% of Italy. Think of it in terms of like some kind of think of it in terms of some kind of really outlandish comparison, like say compare China with Guam, right? So maybe 50% of the people in Guam have blue eyes, right? And maybe only 2% of the people in China have blue eyes, but there's probably actually more blue-eyed people in China than there is in Guam, just because China's so huge. 2% of it is actually more than 50% of is more people than 50% of Guam. Okay, so we don't actually. This is one of those ones where we don't know either. Okay, so I hope that helps. I think we said this one's the right one. Italians are more likely to have brown eyes than Germans. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. So in here, kind of, it's nice when in the description of what's correct and incorrect, it kind of gives you a little explanation. So those are very helpful. Okay. So I hope this one helped talking you through this problem. These can be tricky.